queues, missing names, wrong postings, and overpopulation. Those are just a few of the many challenges that have beset the start of the government's free senior high school program on its first day of implementation. Parents are finding spaces for more than 420,000 freshmen in more than 470,000 schools, 470 schools across the country today. And the start hasn't been as smooth as the government had wished. The minority will soon have held a press conference, and they have raised concerns with the rough start to the program. We'll bring you those details shortly. Plus, the Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei-Duchum, in the studio to answer all of the questions that you may have with the ongoing program. You can send us a message through our Facebook pages. That's Facebook/JoyNews on TV. You can also send in your call into the show later on. We'll bring you that number. But now let's start with our special report from the free SHS program. That's our agenda for today before we take you round the various centers.
The transition from junior to senior high school comes with its own challenges. Many potential senior high school students have had their education truncated at the JHS level, mainly because of the astronomical cost of SHS education. Page 104 of the NPP's 2016 Manifesto on Education promised free SHS for junior high school graduates. Quote, the core elements of the program shall be free education for all Ghanaian children up to senior high school to ease the burden on parents and guardians while encouraging them to assume their responsibility for the social upbringing and parental control of their children. After the heated political campaigns, President Akufo-Addo is cited one of his major campaign promises will come to fruition.
By your work, by the energy and dynamism of Matthew Poku Prempeh, Minister for Education, MP for Mensia South, in 3 weeks' time, the free senior high school is going to roll out and become a reality in the lives of our country. That we are all in the same boat. We're rowing toward the same destination about the upliftment of Ghana and about freedom in Ghana.
Though President Akufo-Addo is sure of the success of this program, many are also pessimistic. General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, David Ofori-Achampong, wants government to tread cautiously.
This present government has a lot of history to learn from. They started a school feeding program. It got to a point, it got out of hands. Now, luckily, they are back. What have they learned that went wrong last time? And what strategies are in place to correct the mistakes of the past? Yeah, there are still critical issues because it all has to do with issues of resources. Resource allocation. Is it adequate? Does it cut across the whole country? That also talks about the fact that if the state is interested in ensuring that standards are high, then resources ought to be provided. Providing resources for education officers, for them to be able to go around and supervise our teachers, providing logistics, providing incentives to the teachers in the communities. These are all critical issues.
Conference wishes to communicate that in the implementation process, all stakeholders should hold themselves in readiness to make some financial sacrifices, even in a free.
The National Association of Graduate Teachers also envisages funding challenges with implementation of the policy. General Secretary Stanislav Nabome is calling for a broader consultation to respond to the possible challenges the program could face.
$1.2 billion. Conference further wishes to remind government that the best total plans are likely to meet unexpected shocks. Hence, the need for consultation and the need to to respond to such shocks as they emerge. It is similarly anticipated that the implementation of the policy will lead to expansion in enrollment and the recruitment of teachers and other supporting staff, with a concomitant rise in wage bill. Sufficient budgetary preparation should be made to avoid the unpleasant situation of over-bloated class sizes, delayed payments of salaries, and withdrawal of incentives that will demoralize teachers.
I'm aware that they have reached out. They have reached out to other donor agencies to come support them.
Which institutions are we talking about?
Because they are struggling to find the money here. I know they've reached out. They've reached out to the World Bank.
The source of funding and the cost has also been a major talking point. Government says it has allocated 400 million cedis for the 2017-2018 academic year. But former Deputy Minister of Education, Samuel Okudzeto-Blakwa, says the figure is wrong and the policy cannot be sustained.
A lot has been done, but what is clear to me is that government is going to struggle to find the money. For adequate implementation, proper implementation of free SHS, you need 600 million cedis a term. 1.8.
They say 400 million. They say by the second and third term, so there have been lesser than that because one of items that are supposed to be taken care of will be taken care of. How do you do a different calculation and still insist that the current government got the numbers wrong?
They got the numbers wrong, and you can see already. And we are not the only ones saying that. The Ghana National Education Coalition has said that.
Okay.
The likes of Professor Odro at UCC have said that. And that is why if you look at the numbers are not adding up. The numbers are not adding up. They should tell us.
So they will struggle with the funding.
They will struggle with the funding. They will not be able to find the money, and that is why
they will not be able to sustain it. You think so?
It's not sustainable.
For access, we've talked about removing financial barrier instead of physical access. We tend to construct 42 model schools. The Ministry of Finance.
But Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh remains hopeful. He says the World Bank is considering a $40 million support for the Free Senior High School initiative, in addition to the 400 million cedis government has allocated for the 2017-2018 academic year.
We are undergoing a project called Secondary Education Improvement Project, where they are helping to develop some schools, helping the teachers and the lecturers, putting the science teachers also to task and training and building their capacity. So it's the total package. The World Bank, looking at how we are fared, has decided to increase the funding by another $40 million to make sure that a project of bringing up the most failing schools in this country, we get to the end of it. 2017, about 268,000 writing, and looking at these same numbers, we have enough.
In case you still have doubts about what the President Akufo-Addo-led government means when it says free senior high school education, Education Minister Dr. Matthew Prempeh talks about its components and latest additions.
There will no longer be admission fees, library fees, science fees, no computer lab fees, no examination fees, no utility fees. There will be free textbooks. That is a new addition on the GS approved list. Free textbooks, free boarding, free meals, and day students will get a meal for free, another addition. So day students now are also going to be free in school.
President Akufo-Addo on 25 August posted on his social media page, quote, "Those who said I could not do it for propaganda purposes, I hope in September when the free SHS program begins, they will have the generosity of heart to say that Nana come from stone on Cove." Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Baba.
So that is by way of a background, but my colleagues have been out. Aisha Ibrahim has been out, so has Justice, so has Faustina. And let's start with Aisha Ibrahim, who has been to the Odogono SHS. Aisha.
Get a list of our children. When they came, the list that they placed on the notice board, most of us, over 200 parents, will find their names on the list. But when we pushed, we found out that it was private schools, candidates whose names have been placed on the notice board. So we have to go to the assistant headmaster to prompt him. So they've seen the blunder and they said they were ready for it. So as at now that I'm speaking with you, we are waiting for the list of the governing schools to see if we standing here, we have our names on the list that they will provide for us.
What explanation did they give to you for that blunder?
They didn't give any explanation, but we prompted them and they found out that we're right on what we are saying about the issue that they did for the private instead of the both private and government schools.
So how long are you supposed to wait here?
They did not tell us, but we've been here since early morning. Apparently it's after 10 and we are still waiting patiently for them to come and tell us something.
That was Aisha Ibrahim interacting with some parents at the Odogono Senior High School. Mamavi Oswabwaji was in the eastern region. Every Girls was her destination.
Very, very happy to be here.
Okay.
Because she chose this school as the first choice, and by God's grace, she's able to have it.
Any family member who went through Every Girls?
Not at all. But from peers and friends, they recommend this school for her, yes.
All right, they've got a great environment, by the way, but you're not paying anything in terms of admission fees and tuition. That must be good news.
Very, very good news. Because, education, you can say, is expensive. So if you are not paying anything as a parent, you'll be very happy. Yes, so that you use the funds for other things in life, yes.
All right, but what are you getting your young girl? What are you giving to her as part of the things she's bringing to school?
Oh, definitely you need to bring her a lot of logistics. As much as she's going to be fed by the school, she needs also to give her, because she needs to be very comfortable so that we're able to learn in a very serene environment like this place.
Yeah. Are you leaving her behind today?
No, because we asked to come for the prospectus, so that they will know what she needs to bring along.
Okay.
Then I will prepare very well and bring her.
All right, get ready. The first time I reported to school, I cried. So, but thank you so much for talking to us. We wish you well, and your young girl as well.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Let's talk to another parent, and it's interesting. The men are bringing the girls to a girls' school. Good morning. What's your name, please?
Madam, my name is Reverend K.M. Ajololo.
Okay, Reverend Ajololo. So you brought your girl here. She chose here as a first choice.
First choice.
All right.
And she got it.
All right. How does it feel knowing that she got her school of choice?
So happy to come to Every Girls, because that was her first choice. And there was no problem about it. She got it perfectly.
Okay.
So we thank God for that.
And now you are here to go through the process. How has it been like for you?
I can see it's good. The headmistress Kemeli, and she started with us.
Okay.
She was on the process.
Okay. When is she finally reporting to school?
They haven't given us the date yet.
Okay.
But I'm thinking through the week, they'll tell us what will happen at the end of the week.
All right. What are you going to use the money you would have used for the admission and the tuition? What are you channeling those monies into now that you don't have to pay anything, really?
That's good question that you're asking me. We are all happy about this special free education in SS, because the money that you have now, we can use for other things to improve the life of the child.
So you're buying more provisions?
Yeah. What they asked us, we bought it for them as in the petitions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Reverend, thank you very much. I hope your girl enjoys her stay at Every Girls.
So thank you very much for me.
Finally, we get to speak to a woman, because after all, we're in a girls' school. Thank you, Reverend. We're in a girls' school. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So you brought your daughter here?
Yeah, he's in here, this one.
Okay. And how does he feel? Because some people have issues with the placement and they are going back and forth, but you have a school.
He felt better. When he was mentioned, he was very happy.
Okay. And then you're not paying any fees?
No. No.
Okay, that must be good news.
No, Tina, he's fine.
Okay. Ubani your friend Tina?
Okay. Tina.
Na and you are no more almost secondary school one.
Well, the first one or Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
Second one or aviation.
Okay. It's a me and any day to fees. And I wait they won't share. Into Sisas Canada now the bear.
But the better na council.
I think that it has come rather too early for people to understand it very well. My expectations are that the government will take its time to explain to the general public, to understand and accept, because everybody is still thinking about the old ways. So I'm expecting that we will accept it. We'll accept it wholeheartedly and move it forward, because it has come to stay with us. Every new thing has its own challenges. And for me, we must make do with the challenges and help to propel it forward. I expect that because students have had it free, they should not take it for granted. I expect that they lend their hearts out, because the government is spending so much to take care of them. And if parents are not paying anything, it does not mean they should underrate it. But they should take it wholeheartedly, lend their heart out, because it's free. It's free for all. Everyone must benefit and make sure they move forward in life.
How many days have you dedicated to this whole process of admission?
Okay, we are supposed to do it for 2 weeks, for which when everybody comes, then you send the returns. If they don't come, you still send the returns, report to government that I was expecting 400 money to come. So we have 50 more spaces. That one will be advised by the government as to add or not. So we have about 2 weeks to go through the processes. Okay. But they are supposed to report today. However, if somebody could not report today, the person still has time. Because this year it came too early, and prospectus is being given just in a day. I don't think parents have prepared enough. And so they need some time to prepare. So at least 2 weeks will do.